Jim, welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, John, how you doing? Thanks for inviting me back. Appreciate it.
How have you been holding up during COVID?
Doing well, doing well. Wearing my masks and been lucky enough to get vaccinated one shot. So just trying to do the right thing, but busy personally, been busy with the chapter, doing some good stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Last year when we talked, you guys were kind of gearing towards doing virtual webinars because you weren't sure if we were going to have in-person events, and turns out that we didn't. So what was the success like with hosting those events last year? I know you had a bunch of them, but for those that are listening that maybe didn't attend any of them, what was your experience?
Yeah, so thanks, John. We obviously, like many organizations that thrive on live events, we had to pivot to the virtual events. And we had a little bit of experience with that the year before. We were trying to transition a little bit from live events to some webinars. So we experimented in 2019. So we were very familiar with that. Not familiar with, obviously, transitioning your whole schedule to virtual. So we basically, like most people last year, played it by ear and hoping that the virus would lift, and it never did. So we always just had to go to the next virtual event. Suffice it to say, we had 7 events we had last year, 3 live events, three half-day events, and then 4 single webinars. And we had about over 800 people we trained. We never have trained that many people ever. Maybe 600 tops in a normal year. So I think because more people were available, people need training hours, and I think it just was the perfect storm, and everybody was home. So it was it was a transition. We chose, I think we're on the GoToMeeting platform, and I tell you, it really went a lot more successfully than I thought. In a year where you could take a front seat or back seat, and we just wanted to keep our name out there, provide more training. Obviously, we were always hoping for that live event, and it never came. So we just kept transitioning, and like I said, having 7 events, 3 half days, which go from 8:30 to 12, with 3 speakers. It's a lot of planning, But I mean, to train, when I added up the numbers, I mean, over 815 to be exact. That's just just an incredible accomplishment to everybody on the board and the speakers we got, and it's incredible, really. So we, in a year that you didn't know how it was going to react, we reacted. We really reacted, and we pivoted pretty quick and adapted to the environment, and just kind of always were thinking ahead, and kind of what we're doing this year too, like hoping that we get maybe a live event in possible, but we're already planning like 2 ahead. So you don't know where it's going to go,
Yeah, from the vendor side and just seeing all the different chapters, it seems like your chapter was one of the leaders, or kind of leading the charge of doing virtual events.
Yeah. I get contacted from some other chapter presidents, and just kind of finding out what we did do last year, and I told them the same recap as I told you, and it's nice because they have some people that call me, and I'm going to have some calls with them coming up, just about having virtual meetings, that they haven't had them, and it's just something new. I mean, you have to change and you have to adapt, and like I said, we were lucky that in 2019 we got used to that platform. Didn't do a lot of them, but just wanted to see, hey, is it something that we should do in the future? A little bit of a hybrid approach, have some live meetings and virtual meetings, because we wanted to capture the especially the way the trends are going. We wanted to capture the analysts and the office-based investigators that a lot of companies are going to that might not be able to go to a live meeting. So I said, how can we, this is back in 19, how can we get those people to be members? I mean, we'd love to have people come to our live meetings, but still they can be a member of the chapter and still come to our meetings virtually because they're office-based. That's what we wanted to do. So in 19, that was a success. So, we were able to just pivot and use that, last year. So we've had a couple of chapters, which is great. So I just shared kind of what we did. And, it takes a lot of people to do the planning, which is what I'm going to share with them. I mean, the meeting platform is easy. You can go to any WebEx, or you can go to a Zoom, or you can go to Microsoft Teams. I mean, that's the easy decision. It's the planning. It's getting the speakers and always just being 2 or 3 steps ahead. That's the tough part of having virtual meetings, because you just always got to have a couple more speakers in the queue in case someone can't make it. You got to have someone else, and that was the challenge. But it's nice that some chapter presidents are calling us up, and that's usually what I'll share with them.
So you're planning on having a webinar on March 25th, correct?
Right.
So what can people expect for this webinar coming up?
Sure. So that one that's normally a live event, which because the virus is still obviously very active, and I don't even think in our state we're allowed to even have meetings or any seminars. So we chose this meeting to be virtual, and that normally is an event we hold upstate in Saratoga Springs. So this one's a half-day event, starts at 8:30, ends at 12. It's on Thursday, March 25th, and that's open to just NYSSIU members and our law enforcement partners, and also supporting partners. So as long as you're a member, I mean, any one of those 2, 3 types, if you're a regular paid member, if you're a law enforcement member, those are complimentary memberships. We don't charge for those. And then supporting partners, any kind of business or organization that we feel will support our members can become supporting partner members, and they can attend to this meeting. So it's usually a membership drive meeting that we kind of want people to renew their memberships. And with that, normally when it's a live event, it's complimentary. We don't charge our members to attend. So that's the nice thing about that meeting. It's kind of our membership kickoff drive. So we're kind of using the same theme here. If you renew your membership, you can attend. And so that's how it's going to work, 8:30 to 12. And we got some, 3 great speakers, so.
If I want to attend, but I'm not a member, how do I become a member?
Okay, so you can do it a couple different ways. You can go on our website, which is www.nyssiu.org, and there's a membership drop down. You can contact us via email at nyssiu@gmail.com, and if you'd rather do that, either way, you got to fill out a membership application. Obviously, you have to qualify. So, as like I said, law enforcement, that's complimentary. Still have to fill out a form. Business or organization that supports the insurance fraud community would just fill out a supporting partner application with a small annual membership fee. And then our regular members who are mostly employees of an insurance company, could be a third-party administrator as well, that predominantly investigate insurance fraud, would be our regular members. And that's the same thing, fills out a form, fills out a membership application, pays the annual fee, and they're good to go. You could do all this online on our website. You can fill out the form and pay your membership fee, and then that's probably the quickest way.
What other events do you have planned for this year?
So we have in May, we have another webinar. We'll have a single webinar, meaning we'll have 1 speaker. July, that's another half-day event. That will be another 8:30 to 12. That's an event we usually hold end of July. We usually hold that upstate at the United States West Point Military Academy. We usually hold it there, but we decided for safety purposes, we'll push that one to virtual too. So that will be the same format, 8:30 to 12. And we'll have three, as I said, three great speakers there too. And then the last meeting will be held in October. That's also normally a live event up at Turning Stone Resort, upstate New York. That one, we combine that with that'll be a live event on October 6th, and we will have our golf outing on the day before on October 5th. So we're hoping that one is live based on just the way the virus is going, if it's slowed, if most people get the vaccine. So that one we still have kept as a live event. So we're really, really hoping for that. So,
hold on. Knocked on wood for you.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hopefully we can all get out and see each other at least by the end of this year.
Oh, absolutely. That's one we're really shooting for. We have, as you know, the charity end is very important to us, and that charity golf outing is really important. That's you got to have it live. I mean, that's just no way else to do it. And I really hope that can go off. And then the following day, we usually have a fantastic turnout at our seminar. So I'm really hoping that'll be the one that'll get everyone back, So that one's still on the books. That one is still live. We'll have to just, play it by ear.
Now, when things start opening up and we're having live events again, do you think the virtual events will go to the wayside, or how is this going to, continue in the future?
I guess we're going to see if we have a live event, for example, in the fall, and if, you still might have people that are hesitant, our numbers might be down. How I foresee and our board foresees is probably more of a mix of both, having virtual and the live ones, sort of like what we did in 2019, which worked. We didn't train though, however, we didn't train as many as we did last year, or virtual, but I still think that was obviously an extenuating circumstance due to the virus, and everyone's home and everyone needs training hours. So I still think people are going to want to get out. I think the networking aspect to be at a live event is priceless. I think people are going to want to do that. It's going to be playing by ear, but I think more and more organizations are going to have the live events. I think for us, it'll probably be our 2019, where it'll be probably a hybrid, a little bit of both,
What advantages are there for doing virtual events compared to live events?
It's, you're reaching probably way more people than you would, to me, the probably the one that stares your biggest one in the face is the cost. I mean, cost to hold on a live event is a lot more. I mean, you could spend thousands, for a live event, where, the virtual one is other than having a virtual meeting platform at your cost. I mean, and you're reaching so many people, and providing, as I say, you're still providing your mission, like our mission, like our chapter mission is obviously to provide insurance fraud training to everyone in the insurance fraud community. And then, to be able to have, our charity event as well. That's our charity give back mission. So, that's the advantage of virtual, but there's obviously a cost to that as well.
What are some of the disadvantages of doing it virtual instead of live and in person?
I think it's like what I said before. I think it's just the networking aspect. Seminars have such an advantage for, like I said, our chapter, people individually, and even for the supporting partners. I mean, it's that networking aspect growing. Let's put it this way, for our chapter, I mean, we'll meet new members because we can accept guests, for guest fee, there's some people that can come with an existing member. So you might get new members that way, at least for a chapter. Let's say individually, somebody might want to network and, individually, maybe they want to meet another company or maybe they're looking to change jobs. So, meeting with, some representatives from another company, or, I think for the business aspect and our supporting partners, that's another key, the way they grow their business. I mean, I just think that's just, there's so many reasons why I think in-person ones are so effective. So that's why I said having them, the trade-off of having a little bit of virtual, a little bit of live, I think there's so many reasons. I think it's really actually a related reason, at least for, someone individually and for business, because you want to grow, at least for us as a chapter, we want to grow, businesses want to grow. And for someone individually, they probably want, let's say they want to meet someone else and maybe want to change a job. It's that networking aspect. I just think that social side of relationships is so needed again on so many fronts. So that to me is probably the biggest advantage. And maybe I'm missing one, but I just think, as I'm a social person, I just think we all need that, and it's just, like I said, it's a way to grow our membership. Our supporting partners can grow their, their business, and they can meet new people, and, we can introduce them to, to other people that are there. And that's really where everything happens. I mean, the training are there for the training, but at the the networking thing is priceless, and I think that's the biggest advantage. If we can biggest thing is if we can get it done safely, and within all the guidelines that the state will allow us, and, what does that look like? I mean, it could be, it could be a mask. Everyone who's not vaccinated has to wear a mask. So maybe we'll provide masks to, people that come. Maybe we'll, do that as a complimentary thing, as long as you sign up, and, or, check something off if someone's been vaccinated already. So, we don't even know what that's going to look like, but that's probably the best way to do it in my mind, thinking maybe, let's say we have that live event, how do we protect everybody, keep it safe? That to me is how it's probably going to get done, but I'll go over that with the board. But we just want to make sure everyone's safe. But we got to get out, and we got to network, and that's that's just needed. And I just think the relationship and social networking side is key.
Anything else you'd like to add about the upcoming webinar before we sign off?
Sure. Just to recap, if you're not a member, become a member. As long as you are in the insurance fraud community, you're an investigator, you can be an analyst, counsel, outside counsel that services the insurance fraud community, anything that can provide a service to our members, or you're doing that kind of investigative work, they can qualify for membership. A couple different ways. You can, like I said earlier, go to our website, www.nyssiu.org. You can email us at nyssiu@gmail.com. And then we'll as long as you qualify, you'll become a member. And if you want to register for the meeting, you just you let us know, and then you'll be on our email list, and you'll be able to come to any of our meetings in the future. Any important news, they'll become, regular members will be voting members as well. So they'll vote at our election. So there's important reasons to become a member. But yeah, those are the two ways they can become members, and they'll be able to come to our March 25th meeting. We have 3 great speakers. We have Joe Stevenson with Intertel. We have Roy Mira, who will be doing a great talk for us as well. And then we have Sherry Gash. She's an assistant district attorney. So we got 3 great speakers for March 25th. We'd love everyone to become members and attend our webinar. And thanks, John, for the opportunity, for the update. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the next time I have you on the podcast will be in person, and we'll be at the October event, letting everybody know, how it went. So that's my hope. We'll see.
Absolutely. And thank you for the opportunity for us to share this news. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, of course. Well, Jim, thanks for joining us again, and looking forward to the webinar. And for everybody that's watching, it's March 25th. So reach out to Jim or whoever, go to their website and sign up, and enjoy the speakers.
Yeah,
so
thank you, John. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you.